Richardson. Shot clock is down to 3. Richardson, the heave. It doesn't go. And it's rebounded by Dia. He takes up a lot of space.
Boy, they get into you. They like to push it early. This kid can make threes. He is tough.
Pedulla, he has got great touch. Roll coming off the bench. In fact, he went to Chris Beard and said, this might be best for the team. Offensive rebound by Morrell off the miss by Brakefield. 7-6, Ole Miss in front. 7 minutes gone by in this first half.
Got to tag Pedulla.
Pedulla, the high archer.
Got to be ready. Here's
of anyone's elevation.
You're envious of Raf's elevation. We're tied at 10.
Klafki on the floor right now.
He is the freshman from Brazil, Eduardo Klafki.
He can rebound. This is the guy.
Pedulla, bottom.
A handoff, and nobody at home.
Match.
Richardson.
Fine. Carr snaps a 3. Off.
Good weak side. Cooper.
Offensive board. Richardson lost it. Saves it.
Oh.
No! Pedulla takes it away and barely lays it in.
They are so
DC.
Lambo with the threes. And best I've seen Cooper play, by the way.
Big time performance last night.
Big timer right here, Pedulla.
Pedulla goes to work. Pedulla lays it in.
And kept the dribble alive the week.
Sweet move from Frankie Fiddler. It's a 14-2 extended run. Only 4 points over the last 7 minutes for Ole Miss.
Depth has prevailed a little bit of late.
I agree. Brakefield against Fiddler.
Little stunt looking to help.
Pedulla launches. Cha-ching!
That kid. How about the athleticism?
59-58 Michigan State.
Big hands started it off. Tough shot. He's this kid.
Cooper lays it in.
The slip and the hands by Coop.
Michigan State up by 4. 35 seconds to play. Pedulla off balance. Gets it to go. A little looper from Pedulla.
Baseline bumps. There you go.
Brakefield couldn't finish it. Pedulla is there for the follow.
How alert is he?
That's exactly what Iowa State worked on yesterday against those double teams on Jefferson, getting that cut. Heisey, a great cutter. And as Dan said in the open, Jefferson, a great passer. They get the first bucket of the game.
Here's Pedulla, who got a screen. Heisey comes up on him in a hurry. Pedulla will maneuver. And we're tied.
I love that because he knows Jefferson's a great passer, but he wants him more aggressive offensively to score and to get on the glass, and he does both right there.
He's also pretty smart. He's 6'9". He's matched up against the 5'11" Murray. He went right to the basket.
Pedulla with another 3. Another 3. With the rebound collected by David Barnes.
The green light couldn't be any greener
Pedulla.
for Curtis Jones.
Pedulla will put up a 3, and that person doubled it with defenders draped on both shoulders. Kelderman's in, but he throws it away. It's Pedulla. They got a 3-on-1. Puts on the brakes and puts up a 3.
Wow.
And it's Jefferson trying to saber his way inside. A turnover. Pedulla on the run into the hole. Been working like crazy this weekend, and we appreciate all the wonderful stories. It's stolen by Pedulla. It's a 2-on-1, and he'll go in himself, gliding for the
assists, 3 rebounds. Coach says he always makes a positive impact on the game.
And he was big early, Lauren, in this one, assisting on virtually every basket the Rebels made. He has it here with a 14-footer. The bump, the finesse, and he got it.
R.J. Davis has made 3 tough shots already in this game.
4 to play in the first half. Carolina's never led. Ole Miss wide open 3. Pedulla.
So now North Carolina going with this really small lineup again, and Pedulla was open, but they weren't trying to throw it to Pedulla. And Brakefield, he can play a couple of different positions for them.
It's a great play. I don't even know what his position is, to be quite honest.
Well, isn't that the way basketball's supposed to be these days? Positionless?
It certainly is, and he can do a little bit of everything.
Brakefield It's Pedulla, and Trimble's on him. Pedulla got the screen. He'll put up a 2.
Work and an excellent post feed there for Johnson. They've got this down to 13 now.
It's Pedulla. Trimble with the bump. Shot clock at 5. Off balance. Got it!
And so hard right now. You'd like to know where this game would be if Carolina would have had this effort the first 20 minutes of this game.
Pedulla spinning and putting it in!
It's been tough for Ole Miss to even find good looks, let alone get the ball in the basket.
Brakefield. Pedulla got the screen, the 3, bullseye! What a shot!
Kelly driving on Dia, left it a little short. Broom missed the follow. Boy, you never see him miss one of those. And now it's the Rebels off to the races, and it's the first points of the game.
If you're Auburn, that's a shot, hey, you're okay with. You take your hat off to him.
The double on Broom. Davis comes over and forces the turnover.
Davis was all the way up at the top guarding Chad Baker-Mazara, but then he just smashed down and was able to make that steal. Very alert by Dre Davis.
Had a good first half, 5 points, 5 rebounds, very active. Pedulla, the fadeaway will go, and it will be his 10th rebound of the game and his 18th double-double of the season. Well, tipped away by Pedulla.
What a bad pass.
And up and in with the left.
Grind it out, kind of old school.
Pedulla lays it in. It's a fourth in his ability to draw fouls that we saw in that game yesterday. Baker-Mazara out with 4. Moore back in.
Pedulla's been so well coached, spending so much time with Mike Young.
What a layup.
Full court pressure. They're a team that likes to make a lot of steals, and they throw it away.
Pedulla has it and lays it in, and it's down to 5. And Chris Beard will use another touch from the drive, and the lefty finishes.
But how about that first step?
You want to talk about a guy who's in attack mode all the time. Pedulla's floater will go. The 5 and 6 seeds here in the SEC. A&M and Kentucky, they're projected 3 seeds. Morrell the steal, and the unselfish feed for Pedulla.
And look, you give all the credit to Arkansas, but from the Ole Miss perspective, he's got to be thinking, we let him back in it by being loose with the ball the last 2 minutes of the first half. Ole Miss did not close out the first half in a smart fashion. Bodies are flying.
Yeah, Dia just hit the deck. Pedulla, wow, somehow got it up and in. Now the second. Missed it. 5 seconds. Pedulla. Ball game.
In the rest of the games, for the rest of the teams to get the most number that they can have from the SEC.
Let's start, Richard, with the top. I believe that there are 3 teams, Florida, Alabama, Tennessee, in whatever order you want to have them right now, playing for one spot. Auburn is not coming off the top line. They've played this well here down the stretch of February into March.
Joe Lenardi, we always... That was in, out, and finally in for Florida as the Gators opening up biggest lead of the game.
Well, this is how Florida can take advantage of you. They can go on runs. In their recent game against Alabama, as Alabama had a run, Florida would always answer. They can go on 9-0 runs in a moment.
Pedulla.
The shot selection that they're taking, shots early in the offense, shots from the perimeter that have been ill-advised, and contested shots. They're going to have to do a better job playing connected, screening for each other, and then finding the easy baskets as a unit.
There's Morrell off the bounce. He's cut off there by Will Richard. Dia trying to work, but Chinyelu not giving up any ground. Pedulla. Woo.
The activity and the length, the switchability of this roster makes it very difficult to get clean looks.
Here's Pedulla. And he always seemed...
And it looked like Malik Dia did everything right until the last second. He made a contest in the face instead of on the ball. But an elite scorer like Clayton still able to knock it down.
18 points, 4 threes, 5 assists for Walter Clayton Jr. Shot clock's at 10. Pedulla, crafty move.
Can't get it to go. Davis has the rebound.
Yeah, Ole Miss averaging just under 9 turnovers a game, best in the country, but with ball security so important against the Volunteers.
Pedulla for 3. Ziegler, Doc Hara off the roll on the ball screen. No foul called inside. Felix wanted one. Pedulla on the push. Pedulla to the bucket. Way out on the floor. Ziegler has it. Ziegler for 3. And a rebound by Brown Jones. And Rick Barnes just shakes his head in front of us. It's not the kind of shot that Tennessee would hope to get on that possession, and it'll be a goal 10.
Protecting. And this is an opportunity that Oklahoma knows that they feel that they can potentially get this win. As you mentioned, the crowd is going to have to be a factor for the Rebels.
We played 8 minutes here at Oxford. Eduardo Klafke, the freshman from Brazil, on the floor for the first time for the Ole Miss. Pedulla trying to break down his man. Step back 3. Oh, that is just tough. There goes Fears. That's his first bucket of the ball game.
And that's a positive there for Oklahoma as Jeremiah Fears finally gets on the board.
Pedulla just hit one, and now another one. Oklahoma looking to run. This is when they're most effective offensively. Fears trying to take it away. But Ole Miss bringing it up with Pedulla. Feels the contact, and the bucket. Shot clock winding down. And more shot off the mark, and taken away by Pedulla. Pedulla left open from the wing. Count it.
It's the recipient of good team play.
That's how you know Richard Hendricks was a big man. Noticing those little subtle plays down in close.
Listen, you have to point out the trenches. It's like, listen, you watch football, everybody watch the running backs, the quarterbacks, the wide receivers, but the game is won in the trenches. And when you have a quality low post player who can impact the game offensively and defensively, it really helps out the guard play. But it's something that the untrained eye doesn't see.
We'll find Brakefield has to get one off with 1 on the shot clock. And the long rebound, Pedulla saves it. Now he'll hoist a 3. What a sequence!
Up.
A career high 17 points. A little zone here from Oklahoma. Pedulla working one-on-one, and it rolls in.
The athleticism to finish.
Let's see what Ole Miss comes up with out of this timeout.
It's the switch.
Pedulla's got the big man on him, rising up, and knocks it down.
High screen, Kelly raises. No good, and a good box out by Pedulla.
Just come down and get a good look right now for Ole Miss. And there's one.
Yep. And he buried it.
He would never come off the floor in a shirts and skins open gym. His team is going to limp. Boy, that's a pretty shot, is it not?
It sure is.
I mean, most people are projecting 11, 12, 13, maybe 14 teams. Have you ever seen a league this strong?
Not since the Big East back when I was a whippersnapper. That Big East was St.
Tanner. Wow, that defense, that part of like the Red Sea. Yeah. I mean, that's Coach Beard, again, you mentioned he's not happy with how they're taking care of the basketball, but Got to be more resistance on the dribble penetration from Ole Miss.
Pedulla. And traffic goes with the left hand. Got it to go. Nice recruit. Tyler Tanner felt like there was a spot for him in the way he plays. And sold Tyler Tanner to stay with the Commodore program. And boy, are they glad that he did. Pedulla right to the rim. Wildcats, 2 days back, 3 rebounds, couple of assists in 17 minutes. But you said it at the beginning of this game, he brought the energy.
He did. Set the tone right from Jump Street. Defensive rebound, start transition, made a 3.
Pedulla. There's the first 3 of the game. Murray tripped himself up, but it went right into the hands of Davis. Brakefield will try. That didn't go. Pedulla for 3. That did go.
That was a fortunate play by Holgard. Got caught on the baseline, but Magnon again making himself available.
Ooh, nice catch over there on the far side by Dre Davis. Here's Pedulla. Transfer from Virginia Tech. Up and under, nice move.
That's in the corners, chest to chest.
It's a 4-point game. Here's Pedulla. He lines up a 3. Got it!
Had Edwards open in the corner.
Loose ball, Pedulla with it. Pedulla got the lay-in.
Kugel getting the start this game off the bounce, and it rolls off the rim. Sean Pedulla, the Virginia Tech transfer, has been running the point along with Jalen Murray.
So notice the patience in which Ole Miss will run their offense. It's an efficient team, doesn't turn the ball over and beat themselves.
Pedulla with a hand. Davis looking for some help. It was Morrell curling off the screen, but couldn't get the handle. Now it's Pedulla. He'll pull it. Nothing but we're seeing Josh Hubbard, develop his game. Hasn't taken many bad shots, getting his teammates involved here tonight.
Well, this is a dynamic scorer, and that's what he's known for from a long period of time, from his high school career. But as he continues to grow in his game, as Pedulla cans a 3.
Double figures. Mississippi State, 5 players in double figures. Pedulla staying on the floor with 4, lays it in.
And weekend on the SEC Network and also on the app. So what do you want South Carolina to maybe change up here?
Yeah, they got to figure out a way to keep the ball out of the paint. Ole Miss struggles a little bit in scoring when they're not able to get paint touches and play out of the paint area or transition.
There's the freshman Eduardo Klafke getting a few minutes here. Pedulla might have to hoist it up, going behind the back. Pedulla, nicely.
The officials know that there's a discrepancy on the foul. He's been sitting down most of the game. He just got up and reminded them.
Surprising. Pedulla contested 3, and that's a couple of nice defensive plays for Sears in the half court.
Yeah, we're raving about Ole Miss defense, but LSU is very sneaky defensively.
Oh, they've got great
shot maker. Man, that was tough. That guy was all over him. Just arched it right over the top.
It's their first 3 of the evening after starting. They get their second after starting 1 of 9. Pedulla answers. Rebound-wise, that's 7 for LSU. They are +6 in that category, so getting extra shots. And you're right, they're taking in defensively here in the half court.
Their ball pressure is very good, bothering Ole Miss and not letting them get any kind of rhythm offensively.
Pedulla steps back for 3. So that is why they only assess the 1 F1, the flagrant one, to Sears, not Dia.
But you know what I like? I like the saltiness of LA.
Beard was on top of it at the last time out, challenges his squad that this game's not over. Kentucky now goes that big zone.
15-point lead. Garrison did a good job of cutting off a backdoor pass. Pedulla by Perry. And he gets it to go. All those hours paid off for the freshman out of Eddyville. They go full court press.
There's plenty of time, but Kentucky, again, they don't turn you over. So when they get from behind, it's tough on them.
Boy, Pedulla just used that.
A driving lane for Oway to get to the rim.
The 87 points that Ole Miss has, the most against a Kentucky team since 1990.
Well, that's a big zone Kentucky has on the floor right now. Big guards up top. And it gets late in the possession. Now they go man.
Yeah, Pedulla thinks he has a lane. Brea can't defend it. Good.
It's a glass. Kelly gets the pass off. In heavy traffic, Jones has it taken away. Here's Pedulla on the attack, lays it off the window and in.
Not my responsibility. I'm sure it was something that was discussed in the timeout.
So a little confusion for Auburn. That is one of the reasons they've turned it over 5 times. Pedulla will jack up a triple and knock it down. Another air ball, but up and in by Broom. And he had Pedulla sit right on top of him.
But that's the thing that makes Janai Broom so great. You don't have to throw him the basketball for him to be successful. He'll go get buckets the hard way.
Brakefield couldn't get off a shot. Pedulla deep in the corner. Yes, and a 3. And down.
And Obi, I can only smile anytime I watch this young man play. I coached Dylan Cardwell his junior year of high school. He came to Oak Hill over 300 pounds. And this young man went to work all on his own, dropped about 40 pounds, got his body in shape. We'll do some research. We got to go to SIG and find out, has anyone else ever had that? 7 players that have over 1,000 points.
Yeah, never heard of that before. Pedulla's one of them. Here comes a long one. And Broom trying to back down. Twisting. The kick out for Hudson. Too strong. And one tip, Pedulla, very quick to react, got there first. The lane opens up. He scoops it up and in.
Obi, remember Chris Beard told us.
Pettiford went for a cut. Broom wants to shoot it. Too strong. Ole Miss getting some big-time momentum here. Brakefield in the corner. Here's Pedulla.
Pedulla feeling it right now, Obi. I think he wants everybody out of the way so he can go to work.
Tiptoeing in and lays it in. What a strong move all the way to the
star. They've got a lot of complimentary role players who step up when they need them most.
74-66, the Tigers. Can Pedulla heat up again? He's sitting with 20. Keeps on driving it. With that right hand, he'll bank it in.
And that's just strength. 4 guys with over 50 assists. But more importantly, no one in their rotation has a negative assist-to-turnover ratio.
Broom with a couple of big misses. Pedulla, strong move, and will drop it in. And it'll go. He looked to fire it up there. He'll drive it. Looking for 2 in short. Follows his own miss for 2.
For Texas to put up 11 points in the first 5 minutes of this game, I think that's where the message is from Chris Beard is, hey, we got to be sharper on the offensive end, but we can't get our offense going if we're taking the ball out of the net over and over again. They must clean up the D.
Texas is +7 on the glass here early on. A 3 from Sean.
He has just been extremely solid offensively, and you see the effort there to chase down the missed layup.
Trey Johnson working hard with Dia, trying to keep up with him. Late to get out to the perimeter, and Pedulla makes him pay.
Yeah,
in the discussion, one of the top picks in the draft.
And he's part of an offense that can be very explosive here is Texas. I think one of the challenges they've had is just chemistry. They have a lot of type A guys, score-first players, but when they're all hitting, man, they are a tough cover.
Here's Pedulla again with a hand in his face. Big-time shot.
Cutter. That's what you have to do against this help side defense. There you go.
Contact on that putback, but wouldn't go for Nick Cody. Pedulla behind the back, finds the pass. Ole Miss, and Ole Miss, partially because they're their defense-oriented team and the pace they play. Here's Pedulla.
He's turned in their leading scorer.
Part of the cheerleading. Help me out. What's the word?
It's a pyramid.
It's a pyramid.
Yeah.
Thank you. No tower wasn't right. so I stayed away from it until I just admitted guilt.
Another win tonight for Auburn, maybe the best team in all of college basketball. Atop the SEC standings, Pedulla with the shake and bang. And we are tied again for the 11th time tonight.
I think you got to find Pedulla. Larry, their best perimeter defender, not in the game. Get three and white the ball.
Here he is. Driving on Pope. Tried to step through. Got it! Texas won it.
You see the lineup for Ole Miss. To the rack, rolls off the rim, and the rebound to Matthew Morrell. As early as this afternoon, he was still questionable, trending toward probable. Number 11 in the starting lineup after turning his ankle against A&M on Wednesday night.
I thought he had a good shoot around. He didn't go hard on it, but he could raise up and knock in jump shots. Can he take it off the bounce and get to the rim?
Pedulla with a hand in his face with the triple. 7 feet, 260 pounds. He is a grown man.
And think of when you switch everything and some of your bigs are outside guarding guards, that means your guards are going to have to guard bigs around the rim. Wow, what a shot.
Pedulla straight to the basket. He won his third triple.
That was for you, Fish. There's my guy.
Maybe I need to amend my answer.
Yeah, wow.
(33-26), 7-point lead for the Tigers.
Good motion offense by Ole Miss. Against a team like Missouri, you have to have harder cuts. Make sure you cut with a purpose. Drag a defender or two with you.
Shot clock down. Pump fake. Three. Big shot by Pedulla.
Very long as he put it on the floor, but Clapton stayed with it. Pedulla has been quiet, and that answers the crowd that was yelling there.
Pedulla, floater on the drive, and he left it short. Morrell comes up with a miss, dumps it off. Pedulla's second chance is good. And he was coming more at the angle you were talking about earlier. It wasn't straight at him.
You got to go past it. You got to have the unknown for the shooter. If where is the hand on the defensive end? But in order to do that, you have to be closer to. A hand in front of a great shooter doesn't matter to the great shooter.
Pedulla turns around off the window again.
Nice, good ball.
Phelps trying to take over. Dia corrals it. This is not a great rebounding Ole Miss team, but they're getting it done so far tonight. Swing from Pedulla. Brakefield gives it up. Back to Pedulla. He was Virginia Tech's leading scorer last year, and he catches. Here's Obaseki. Went around Pedulla, who ends up with the takeaway.
And that's a no-pass offense possession, right? I mean, you just come down and dribble to the side and go 1-on-5. That's not going to get you the look you want.
Murray drives and dishes. Here's Pedulla. Got it! Couple of
we saw, and right now, Ole Miss has to try to close this thing out as A&M hasn't played pretty, but they've hung right in there, only down 5. If they can keep it here, I think Buzz Williams will be pretty happy.
Seth, as I mentioned, said this would be a heavyweight fight. Here's Pedulla off the glass. There are more points a game. Since December 1st, he leads the country in field goal percentage. 83% coming into this game. Pedulla, the handoff, drains it. Shot.
And then even with less shots, he's putting up 14 a game for Ole Miss.
And there's his steal by Matthew Morrell and the Rebels. 7th steal of the game for Ole Miss. Here's Morrell. Here's Pedulla. Pedulla's got the headband on. He's got a nice short.
If you're Ole Miss, you might have to change who's guarding 35 once he gets going a couple times. Obviously, they switch a bunch, but you got to be aware.
Had a career high 25 against Ole Miss last year. These teams split their home matchups and went head-to-head. A&M knocked them off in the SEC tournament. Bridgestone Arena in Nashville. Pedulla, ball fake. Got it!
This contest.
Here's Kugel. Keyshawn Murphy misses the runner. Here comes the Rebels back the other way. Juju Murray will set the table.
And I like Murray's ability to get into the paint off the bounce. Doesn't mean you have to always score. Just read the defense and start to feel out the game.
Play 6 minutes. Here's Starkville. Pedulla, little hezzy, pull up, count. Murphy throws it away. Davis comes up with it. Pedulla lays it in. Under 5 minutes until the half. Here's Juju Murray. Pedulla, drive, kick out to Klafke. Murray, double. They thought he walked. Pedulla from the corner. It's nothing but net. Jones for 3. In and out.
That would have brought the house down.
Here's Pedulla. Ball fake, pull up, got it.
Sometimes if you can drive the way Hubbard did and just draw defense your way, you just want to get it up off the rim because it gives your offensive rebounders an opportunity to stick back.
Pedulla the 3. Gets the roll.
Defense was there and kind of pulled up. Looked like he was just going to get the shot up to go get the offensive rebound, and it somehow found a way to fall.
Horn set here for Ole Miss.
Pedulla wants it down low.
Pedulla firing, nothing but net. Jones. Here come the Rebels.
See Ole Miss offensively even talking through what they want to do. They're really communicating on the offensive end as well as on the defensive end.
Pedulla, it's good for 3. Lead is back down to 2.
Amari from point-blank range, and that's exactly what Nate Oates told us to shoot around today. They had a couple of possessions early in the Texas A&M game that got down to under 5 seconds on the shot clock. Pedulla high off the glass. And the Rebels 21. There's a hammer pass into the corner.
Got to be happy with the looks if you're Nate Oates. 2 wide open threes for one of your hottest shooters.
John Pedulla transferred to Ole Miss from Virginia Tech. Got a half step, turns into a fadeaway. Got it.
Well, and that's where Alabama.
Barnes gets cut off by Sears. Pedulla right by Dia. Got in the paint. And a nifty shot to get that off. Left side. And a contested shot at the rim. Here comes Ole Miss the other way. Youngblood sprints back in transition deep. Pedulla for 3. Got it. And Ole Miss.
Alabama team is just not a very good three-point shooting team. They're pretty average. And 5 of 17 right now on the night.
Pedulla will pull the trigger with 5. And he lets it fly. Over Nelson. Shot.
You can't make them all. We don't expect you to make them all, but you can't miss them all.
Burrell skies for the rebound there. Off the miss. 3-point lead for LSU. Pedulla steps into a 3 in transition. Pedulla with a run-through steal. Lays it up and in, and it's a 10-point lead. You see LSU at 3, Ole Miss at 4. South Carolina so close to getting a big one at home today. Unable to finish. They led by 9 in the first half against Auburn. Pedulla on the drive, able to gather himself.
Driving a kick, here's Morrell. He thought that one was down. Pedulla chases down his miss, re-tees, and a mulligan right down the fairway. Arizona in the league. 3-point Arkansas lead. 15-second difference between the shot and game clock. Pedulla, whoa, not shy. Ole Miss does not turn the ball over. They came in 8th in the country, averaging 9 1/3 turnovers per game. Only 3 turnovers tonight. Morrell tries to go back door. Here's Murray with 5 on the shot clock. Murray draws attention, then loses it. Into the corner, shot clock late. Oh, a dagger! Sean Pedulla throws it in from the corner. They're
long-range contested twos. We'll live with that, and then we're going to waste some clock here because really Ole Miss can get what they want late given Murray's ability to penetrate.
Back cut, and an easy bucket for Pedulla.
Ole Miss wearing white. Vladimir Voyard-Tadal tosses it into the air, and Ole Miss controls the opening tip. Welcome to SEC basketball. Sean Pedulla working on the wing, guarded by Silas Demery. Gets inside, off the glass, up and in. A good start at 5. Deep 3 from Tyron Lawrence. Long rebound, and Ole Miss gets it. And a transition opportunity. Pedulla steps into a 3. Got a 3.
Field. And right there, one of the things Coach White talked about was his team's ability to take care of the basketball. You see Ole Miss putting some pressure on him. Ole Miss ranks 257 in the country at taking care of the basketball, averaging over 13 turnovers per game.
Rebels nearly turned it over there. Tough shot on the baseline for Pedulla. He's got 7.
Of intensity off the bench.
Yeah, he certainly has. What I've seen from Ole Miss is they're trying to turn it up a little bit, but Memphis does a nice job of keeping them in rotation. They're really not backing down to the pressure as you've seen in a lot of the games. And part of that is because Ole Miss hasn't played the schedule, frankly, that the Memphis Tigers have played. They're in the 300s versus Memphis is in the top 4.
Pedulla with a tough runner. First half. Pedulla, that's a deep 2, and he cans it all of a sudden. And he makes them both. He is 3 of 5 from the line. Now in double figures, he's got 10 points, 7 boards.
Before transferring to Ole Miss last year, the young man was Defensive Player of the Year in the Big 12, when the Big 12 was winning championships year in and year out. Good pass.
Between his legs, what a dunk. Catches miss. On the putback. Here comes the crowd at the FedEx Forum. And the silencer.
Says a lot about Kobe Rogers' game.
Crossover, Pedulla gets in the lane, and Cisse, a goaltend.
Can't get him.
Yeah, thanks for clarifying for me at the Queens level. Here's a 3 from Ashby off the mark. Klafke rises for the board. Out of the A-Sun, the Royals, as Brakefield might have gotten away with the travel. Queens, their bench wanted one.
Klafke comes in. He's always a really good ball mover. He has a lot of no-dribble passes, extra passes. Good curl cut from Pedulla.
Mid-range Jay gets the bounce.
Over, but excellent offside help. And we talked about, I mean, Ole Miss does such an unbelievable job of really strong side help right there and double teaming along that baseline. Kind of a sprint horn set, long roll to deal.
5 turnovers now for Queens in the last 2.5 minutes. 5 of their 7 today. Pedulla to the rack, scoop and score. Ashby kicks out. Calomario extra pass. Oh, he fooled Brakefield.
I mean, there's another one. I mean, just baseline, rotation. They're getting Ole Miss in rotations right now and getting really good looks.
Pedulla straight to the basket, rolls it in. Quick pace here for the Royals. Here's Jabril from the corner, and Barnes corrals it. Why the defensive switch, you think, for Queens?
You know, I just think to just give them something else to look at. They had their defense set, you know, after the halftime right there. Jabril's got some length. You've got him and Wilson on the court at the same time. You've got really good length in your 1-3-1.
Sean Pedulla's 37%. That three's in. Jabril knocks it down. His second today.
Jabril has got no fear. For a high school freshman right here, he's playing, and he looks the part.
3-point ball game in Oxford. One final tune-up before Christmas. Morrell thought about it. Pedulla tries another. Got it.
Yeah.
He's seen a lot of minutes, too, as a freshman. Calamario. Rebound for Brakefield. Here comes that up-tempo pace. Pedulla, coast to coast in a Euro step. Finishes.
Really good finish.
Of 11. Calamario stolen by Pedulla. Pedulla banks it in.
Being physical.
And Murray intercepts the pass intended for Calamario. Murray. 6.5 left. 63-54, Ole Miss in control so far. As Pedulla puts it in, and 1% from the floor in this second half. Queens at 35%. And you see Ole Miss has made 6 of their last 8 field goals. You attribute a lot of that to this guy, Sean Pedulla. Twirls to the basket. Boy, he can post up too, can he? Free left to shoot on the shot clock. And Jacobs airballs the 3. 7-point lead for Ole Miss. This was a 1-point game at the 11-minute mark. Sean Pedulla on the head fake. Now he rises.
That's a tough shot right there. Get back to the 2-3 zone.
The Southern team beat Mississippi State last year on the road. Beat Louisiana Tech this year on the road. Beat Tulsa this year on the road. They average 85 points per game. That leads the SWAC. Pedulla contested 3. He doesn't care. Put all that
against the press. Southern Miss's point guard play and being able to handle the ball has been good. And you know, on cue, I put the black cat on him right there.
Jay Ladner's going to come for you after that one.
When Brown Jones gets in, that's a horse shot right there. He won't miss that.
Great. From Dixie Springs Lake, Mississippi, 6'4" freshman comes in.
From Park Lane Academy.
Yeah.
Led Park Lane to a state championship. Tough, 6'5", really good athlete.
Contested 3 from Pedulla.
I mean, Montgomery's got one of the prettiest jump shots in college basketball. I mean, his release point, every time he shoots it, he jumps up to a point. Really good execution of inline out of bounds.
Pedulla answers.
Kind of dead ball turnovers where Ole Miss has to at least take it out of bounds.
No Harris right now either for Southern Miss. Let's see how the Golden Eagles do without their leading scorer so far this game.
For young players watching the game, to watch Sean Pedulla shot fake the ball is a clinic. I mean, he's in a clinic.
Sid can't drop it in. Tap back's good for Benitez. Pedulla with 12 first half points in back-to-back games. Looking for more. Oh, yeah! Sean Pedulla!
Of everything.
Just 1 point in the second half, and Watson loses it. Murray to Pedulla. He's been red hot and stays that way.
SEC games.
Tips up in the air. We're off and running in Oxford, Mississippi. Ole Miss coming off a massive road win in the SEC ACC Challenge against Louisville. 86-63 winner for the Rebels in that one.
Lindenwood is a pressure man-to-man team. They get out, overplay the wings. Great start for Pedulla.
Davis up the floor. Kick out to Murray, wide open. It spills into the hands of Murray. Up top, Pedulla. Got it.
Offense. There's a lot of really good freshmen, so you know the talent is there. He's had some up and down games, but he is a talented guy to be a good player in the OVC.
And with Futrell out right now, not sure of his status the rest of the game. They could really use Bass to step up.
Of those guys around the goal, they don't get pushed around. He held his ground right there. Looking to go right back into the post. We'll see how they're going to guard the post. They're going to play it or they're going to double it.
Murray finds Brown Jones. He needs help. 5 left to shoot. Pedulla from way downtown. Bullseye! With 7 first half points. Corner 3.
Should have shot it the first time. It's a good possession by Lindenwood. Really good kick out by Bass.
Brakefield almost lost the dribble. Now it's Klafke. Pedulla hippity hops inside.
His field goal attempts this year from beyond the three-point arc, but that's a great move to get to the basket.
Pedulla out front, 3 ball, good. Sean Pedulla, 8.
And beat that defense.
Hepburn, Edwards, Rain Smith, back rim miss.
And you'll take that shot every time if you're Louisville.
Here's Pedulla trying to get to the basket and does. Got Murray.
Murray's a hard guy to do that to.
Pedulla trying to win the drive to the basket and does. It on the front, 3rd time the charm. Second field goal for Terrence Edwards. Here's Pedulla, the scoop and the roll. 11. Now, if you haven't seen Rain Smith before, here's Pedulla on the drive and does it again. Certainly not. Tonight, the Cards find themselves, after those 2 misses, 11 of 17. On the drive, Pedulla and 1 on the Edwards foul.
8-0 Purdue. That double for Ole Miss has got to be better. You let Trey Kaufman run split that thing, it's going to be a long night.
Pedulla got a good look, and it goes down.
And Purdue bringing that you cannot take because you put your defense at such a disadvantage, and you're just giving points away to Purdue.
Baseline into traffic. Got that over Smith. Pedulla. High arcing 3.
He's got so much room to operate. BYU loves those slips. A wild shot there, though, by Baker.
Here's Murray. In traffic. Got a man up. Kicks it out. Pedulla for 3. Yes!
Just that pause, Corey.
3 and the answer.
Simple pin down lane, and it didn't look like it was a possession where BYU had much going. But there you just pin in Yegor Demon and let him do the rest.
His first 3 of the game ties the game at 47. Murray. Pedulla. Yes!
Well, that missed a
tip. Nell. Catchings. Corner 3.
Good block out. Look at that by Pedulla. Just totally took Mihailo Bošković out of that play.
Boy, Pedulla, nobody stopped the ball. Saw that lane opened up, and the lead grows to 5.
Begin this game. Oral Roberts scored the first 5 points, and they can't convert there with Alajiki. Malik Dia with a full head of steam.
Great pass. What a great shot fake by Pedulla.
Rejected by Alajiki, but they're going to say this counts. Goal go until halftime. Sean Pedulla intercepts the pass. He doesn't have numbers. He doesn't care. Puts it in. Power 5 school that has the longest non-conference win streak in the country right now.
Yep. On their tournament run, that year they went to the Sweet 16. I think they got Ohio State, got Florida. Arkansas, they had a shot at the buzzer to beat Arkansas to go to the Elite 8. Back to the zone. Great look for Pedulla.
Oh, Sean Pedulla loves 2-3.
When Ole Miss made their run, they really got out in transition. It was points off turnovers. Now Oral Roberts has kind of gone into their 2-2-1. They'll fall back into a 1-1-3 zone. They really have to attack that press in the paint.
Pedulla wants another. Give it to him.
Court pressure, which, you know, they did get a turnover 3 or 4 possessions ago with Pedulla. They're really trying to take time off the clock, go back into their zone. And what it has is they got the one paint touch Ole Miss did against the zone, but it's made Ole Miss a perimeter-oriented team.
ORU led Belmont by 14 at half, although they lost that game by 10 in Nashville. Pedulla for his 3rd. Oh, he's feeling it. Coach, put yourself in the opposition. Are they just annoying to prepare for as Pedulla gets the second chance opportunity?
It's one thing Ole Miss has done is just they've been just hands on the ball, steals, deflections. And one thing that Nico talked about was a big emphasis is we call them in basketball too, pick sixes, live ball turnovers. Right there, Pedulla, great drive.
It's in for Lake. Waxahachie, Texas native, 6'4" senior. He can dial it up from deep. He has a couple of times today.
Great blow by Pedulla, great finish.
And one for Pedulla.
Bowen Bourne was the one who hit it. His second three he's made this year. Lead back to 15 for Ole Miss. Now it's Pedulla.
Sean put one thing. He's really moved his feet and played with really active hands on the defensive end.
Lake now with 8 points. Second most for the Rams this afternoon.
Just ball movement, hot ball, move it. Great slip, good pass, great movement.
Down low, no call.
Ole Miss was very fortunate there. Good pass by Pedulla. That's what Ole Miss has got to do. Go back and rebound the ball. We talked about it against LIU. Good drive, paint touch is always good against that zone.
76 to 70 in that one. Down 3 here. We've seen a lot of threes, Coach. 4 of 6 4 threes taken by USA, 6 threes taken by Ole Miss.
Well, you're going to get zones, and that's a great shot for Pedulla right there, and that's over against dribble penetration.
Mikel Brown-Jones from North Philly in a game number 1 in white.
South Alabama zones in line out of bounds, Jake, and they always trap the first pass. Fantastic extra pass from Klafke. If you're an Ole Miss Rebel fan, is to create some kind of pressure with your defense, just like that right there. Steal, get something in transition.
Klafke was in on the steal. Pedulla in the corner. It's good.
Slip right there, missed the cutter to the goal. Really good help by Jamin Brakefield. Ole Miss has done that all night long on any kind of baseline dribble penetration. Their help side defense has been outstanding.
Murray turned away. Got it up top to Brakefield.
They can get maybe some wing cutters into that high post right there.
Pedulla's right. The mark for Brown.
Mikel Brown-Jones really trying to work hard. See if they can establish somebody into the post. Again, though, it's exactly where we're trying to get to. And right now, South Alabama, I think, has played really well. And they've got 2 guys out that I think they'll get back in the next 2 or 3 weeks for Sunbelt play, and they're going to be a factor in the Sunbelt race.
Yeah, you mentioned who's out. Jaden Cooper with a stress fracture in his foot. They really love him in the offseason. He put up some numbers for South Alabama. As Barnes and Ole Miss with 2 left to shoot. Of course, they go to Pedulla. Right choice. Under 90 seconds left.
Trying to get a good shot. You're also conscious of the clock. But against this zone defense, the first, if you get too close in that short corner, they'll trap you right there. I like this idea of ball screening the top. Maybe some long rolls.
Pedulla.
Great shot fake. Great shot fake right there.
Almost banked in by Brock Lee. Another opportunity off the mark. Ole Miss kind of got lucky there. That heat was almost in.
It happens invariably all the time. Those heaves at the end of the clocks, long rebounds offensively.
Pedulla steps back. Bullseye. Off target for Steele. Rebound by Brakefield.
They just spread the floor, just driving the ball against their pressure. Great finish with